welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I have a very special guest today. I have April Jara. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So today is going to be a really exciting video. She's my very first guest. We're going to be having some drinks and we're going to be talking about relationships. I just kind of want to backtrack on how I met April and why I decided to bring her on my channel. So I met you maybe like 2-3 years ago. Yeah, like 2 years ago, I would say.
Feels like 10 years ago.
So something that I like kind of intrigued me about April was we both work in the mortgage industry. Well, she's a realtor, and I'm in the mortgage industry, so we're kind of in the same industry, same company. And she also works with her family. She works side by side with her dad, and so do I. And her mom just joined, and my mom works with me as well. So you know, we kind of we work in the same environment. And I love that she's like young, she's like a go-getter, she's already so successful at her age, and that inspires me. And something that I love is that she works really hard, and at her age it's like hard to find friends like that. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to find friends that just kind of have the same mindset as you. So yeah, that's definitely something that I really love about April. And so really quickly, April, I just want you to share like just a little bit about yourself just with everybody, and yeah, something short.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited. I haven't done something like this in a minute, but I'm excited to see what kind of questions you guys gave us, the topics, anything specific you guys wanted to talk about. So we're going to be completely open, and like anything you guys want to know about relationships, we're here for you guys. Coming from a girl's perspective, we're going to try to keep it equal on both sides, but you know, this is from a girl's perspective. But I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. So kind of, can you share with everybody like how old you are, and kind of where you're at right now in life, and yeah, just a little bit something.
Okay, so I just turned 22. I've been in real estate for going on 4 years now.
Oh my god, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Right out of high school, right?
Yeah, right out of high school. So literally like my first job was like real estate. So this is all I know. So me and her have like that similarity that we're both young women in business. So
yeah,
that's why we clicked automatically. Yeah.
And we both like to have a little fun.
Yeah. Like who doesn't, you know?
I know when I told you, I was like, add me on Snapchat. You're like, yeah, that's where I post like my ratchet stuff. I'm like, me too.
Yeah, so for sure, like we're in the same age group, and we know when to have fun and then when to be business. So like I like that. I admire that about Ashley, because a lot of people that you meet in this business don't really have their mind where it should be, and they're too much on the party side and don't put their mind on the business when it's supposed to be. So we both know when to play, when to not. So I'm super excited for what's to come and what you guys are gonna see right now.
yes, definitely. I think we're headed in the right direction, and the growth. I've already seen you grow. I know you've seen me grow too. Like even I haven't been on social media, and now I am. So it's like I just feel so much better, and where I'm at right now in the place that I'm at right now, I'm just excited for what's to come. And now I started this YouTube channel, so yeah, I'm super excited. So
the beginnings.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the questions that we got.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. So the first question I got was friendship balance with family and work. That's a good one. You want to go first? You want me to answer first?
Say it again.
So like, how do people balance friendship with family and work? Like friendships. So how do you kind of, you know, like nourish those relationships, those friendships, but also like doing like work and family, because those are the most important, right? Is work and family, those kind of the priorities. And sometimes I feel like friendships get put on the back burner. You kind of forget to nourish those relationships when they are important.
No, I get the question now. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I feel like a lot of people know like right off the bat when they get to know me like how my personality is and how I'm mostly like about business and family, like that. Those are my two biggest things, business and family.
Yeah.
And anything else comes after that. Honestly, like everyone just knows that. So my friendships are, they they don't make me feel bad about putting,
like they're clear, like, okay, that's April's, like, she's doing her thing, that's her priority.
Yeah,
like, they understand.
So like if I have, like, on the weekend, like if I have to not go to someone's birthday party or whatever because I have business to do or a family thing came up, they don't, that's why, like, friends, I can count them because, like, you know, some will appreciate it and some will make you feel bad in a way.
Yes.
And those people that make you feel bad are like, those
girl, bye.
Those aren't really like your friends, you know? So
yeah.
So any friend is gonna know, okay, these are her values and I need to
respect that.
Respect it, that's the word.
Yeah.
Respect it. So and then that comes with family too, because, well, family is big for me, so, and we work with our family, so it's kind of like
we already spend time with them at work, but it is nice to not talk about work all the time and just like enjoy each other's company. But yeah, I totally get it. It's like you hang out with your family at work, but it's different.
For sure.
So you also have to take time to spend time with them outside of work. But for sure with the friendships, I've dealt with a lot of friends that don't understand. And for me right now, something that I've gone through is the friendships that I should have nourished. I wasn't. I was kind of just nourishing the relationships that were in front of me, like at work especially. Because I work with people like the people here in the office every single day. Like, I like to hang out with them. I like to talk to them because, you know, we're kind of in the same industry, but it doesn't matter if somebody's in the same industry as me. I was just focusing on what was in front of me. So for me, it was kind of a struggle to balance that. So lately, I've been really conscious of taking time and putting in more effort into the relationships that I should have. Because I even had a friend, like, text me and say, like, hey, you know what? Like, you have been really distant lately. And she's a friend that has been there for me for a really long time. But yeah, so I think, you know, the word balance is really hard. It's hard to always be balanced.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think just taking the time to hang out with your friends here and there, not all the time. And also, like you said, have friendships that know your priorities and know what you're doing and know that it's not, you know, like you're just forgetting about them. It's just, you're doing you and you have to live your life. Everybody has to live their life, and you're doing whatever is going to benefit you and to help you grow and be successful. So
and we're not like in high school anymore where we don't have like, it's just school and like other things. It's like we have life to deal with, you know. So I feel like now the older we get, people understand us more. And then because that text that you got from your friend, I've got something like that, because because it's like we put so much into our business, you know?
Yeah, we kind of forget about those things. It sucks, but it's true. Like, even texting, I'm so bad at it sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I wouldn't want people to do that to me either.
Exactly.
But I'm so, like, focused that it's hard for me to be like, oh, shoot, like, hey, I have friends, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you need them, you're like, wait, where are you?
And then, like, what? So I have gotten a text like that before. So, so like how she said she's lately been working on that and like focusing on that, I've been on that too. And it's like, you have to know what each friend needs, like, because every friend it's a relationship. Just like you have to put in effort into like your significant other's relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It's the same thing with friends. You have to work. It's work. And you have to pay attention. Like, okay, maybe if I send them like a little like gift or something, they'll definitely like 100% appreciate it. Or what if I just spend a day with them? They'll appreciate that.
Or just a random text like, hey, like, how are you doing? Or, you know, like, let's hang out soon, something. You know, just taking the time to even just text them and see how they're doing, I think is important. But that's a good question. I mean, that's something I'm working on currently is nourishing my friendships. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Do you want to get a question? All right, I'll do one more. How do you balance who cooks and who cleans? So you guys know. She's like,
yes, I
do. No, I don't cook. I don't clean. So I'm in a relationship. I've been in an 8-year relationship, on and off. So I'll talk a little bit about that, but you are currently single, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it's good because she hit her up, guys. Single, ready to mingle. I'm just kidding, no. So you get a single person's perspective and then someone who's in a relationship, and you kind of just got out of a relationship, so you kind of have both sides as well. But for me, in my relationship, my boyfriend loves to cook. Like, that's his thing. And it's rare to find a guy like that. So I appreciate it. I do cook too, but that's his thing. I don't love to cook. So that's what he does. He loves to cook, and sometimes he wants me to cook, but I let him do his thing. Because sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, he's like over here trying to add ingredients. I'm like, dude, let me do my thing. Yeah. So I do most of the cleaning, and I think it's just whatever works for your relationship. Yeah. Like, I know a lot of women are annoyed because they do both, right? They do the cooking, they do the cleaning, and it's like, what does a man do? Like, they just come home and after work or whatever. But I think maybe vocalizing that to your partner, like, hey, do you mind, you know, maybe doing like something like, can you clean the restroom this weekend or whatever, you know? Just letting that person know, like, hey, I need help, or do you mind helping me? I think it's about like kind of 50-50 effort, not just, oh, I'm doing all this and you're just doing this. I think and it's also just what works for you. If you don't mind cooking and cleaning for your man, sometimes women love to do that. They love to be serving to their man. So I think it's just finding that balance between your relationship, and if you're like sick and tired of it, then maybe even hire a cleaning lady, you know? Like, if your man isn't good at cleaning, then hire a cleaning lady. I don't know.
Find a solution, honestly.
Yeah.
I heard there is something that said, like, the problem is never you and him. It's like, it's the problem, so you and him find the solution. Yeah. So it's not like he's the problem, you're the problem. There's a problem, just together find the solution.
It's about talking about it, right?
Yeah,
it's just like,
communication, for sure. Because, well, for me, like, I lived with my last how do you say it? Last relationship. Yeah. We lived together, so I love to clean. So I didn't mind like me cleaning all the time. Like, that's my thing.
Because also you feel good in your house when it's clean. You're just like, it just makes everything so much better.
And especially like, I'm like a clean freak, so I have to have everything clean. So I don't mind like just doing all the cleaning and everything. Cooking, it took a little bit more effort. But he knew that, so he would take the time and like, oh, I'm gonna grill today. Like, his thing was like grilling, and that's like a man's thing, you know? Yeah. So whatever works. If not, then like we'll go out to eat or whatever, just make it work. But I didn't mind doing like the cleaning or whatever. But as long as you guys work it out, and I mean, it'll be fine. Communication is.
And I think it's dumb too. Like, the guys think that sometimes like, oh, women should always be cooking and cleaning. No. Like, no, guys can do it too, you know. And I think that's totally fine. I don't know. We're in 2021 now. Like, this isn't back in the days where, you know, the woman does all that, stays home, takes care of the kids. Like, especially me, I love to be the one who's working. Like, I love working. I think I'm the person that I just want to be the one to make all the money. It's not that there's nothing wrong with that. And I want my boyfriend to also be successful and make, like, for us to build an empire together. But I'm not the girl to be home at like 5 o'clock every night and be cooking and cleaning when he gets home. You know, it's just not me. And so I think it's just, comes down to whatever works for you.
I think we're the same way, because like, I wouldn't want to be like the only one making all the money, doing all the
of course.
And then him just be at home, like, you know, not doing anything. Well, you know what? I think about it, like, what if I'm the one making, like, going out, doing, and then he has everything clean, has like a meal like prepared for me. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm yet to come across someone that's like, but like, I don't mind doing like working every single day. Like, it's because we're used to that already.
But it also feels good, like, making your own money. Being able to, you know, buy yourself things and treat yourself. Like, I love spoiling myself, and I don't need anybody else to do that for me. I would, of course, I don't mind if my significant other wants to treat me by, like, pay for my nails, whatever. Hell yeah, do it all day. Yeah. But I also love doing it myself. Exactly. Like, it just feels good knowing that I could do it on my own and be independent. And that's just something my mom has always taught me.
Yeah, same. Because I would hate for someone to, like,
hold it over your head.
Hold it over because, like, not even relationship. I never had, like, a relationship do that. But even with, like, friendships, like, even a favor that they do for you, I did this for you, why aren't, like, you know? And I just would hate for someone to be like, oh, she lives that lifestyle because of me. Like, no, I can live it with you or without you. So I can maintain, you know?
For sure. Yeah. Cheers to that.
To this bomb ass drink.
I know, it's so good. I'm a bartender on the side, guys, so hit me up for your next party.
That was refreshing.
It is.
I love it.
It's so it's just cucumber, lime, tequila, and agave. That's it, and it's freaking fire. Okay, let's do the next. Yeah.
Let's see if I still have the screenshot that I sent you. No. Okay, so
one thing I want to add too about like how you said, oh, like a friend does something for you, or your significant other does something for you, and they're like, oh, I did this, this, and that. Like, to me, unconditional love and someone who truly loves you and wants to be in your life shouldn't expect things in return. It should just be natural. I think that when you have unconditional love, it's loving without any conditions. Like, that means literally not expecting certain things back in return. It just should be just like this. It should just flow, and you should just want to do things for other people because you love and care for them, not because you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna buy you this because I want you to buy me this eventually.
Exactly.
Like, not thinking about that, but just doing it because out of the kindness of your heart, because you truly like want to take care of that person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great comment. Someone said, how to approach a girl out of your league. This is coming from a guy.
Okay, so when you sent me that earlier, I was like, there is nobody out of your league. Like,
no, yeah.
When
that's
you
like
have
in your
confidence, you can do anything. Like, there is no girl out of your league, whether you think she's the most beautiful girl in the world and you're not. Like, you should always think highly of yourself.
Yes.
You should always think that you're worthy enough of getting the most beautiful girl out there. You know what I mean? And I think women, especially me, like, I'm attracted to confidence. If you have confidence and you walk into a room and you know who you are and you own it, that's really attractive to me.
Yeah.
Regardless of looks, obviously attraction matters, but personality is everything.
No, for sure. Because nobody, like, once you have that confidence in yourself, you know who you are, no one can take that from you. Like, you just step into the room, you're very confident, like, you can step into the room and everyone will feel it. And I feel like that will attract that girl that you think is out of your league. But no, when you have that confidence that I know my personality is good, I'm with good intentions, like I can get this woman that I'm looking for, like, trust me, she will gravitate towards you because of the way you are.
And it's just knowing your worth. Like, I know what I bring to the table, like you said. It's like, who wouldn't want to be with me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of, it's not even being cocky, but just like, I know who I am, and I know that I have, like you said, great intentions, so I know this, you know, so whoever you are, whoever asked that question, like, go for it, like,
always go for it, like,
what are you gonna lose, like, a no, what is that gonna do? It's not gonna do anything.
Every no gets you closer to a yes.
And
everything.
I love that.
And everything.
Another cheers to that. Yep. Rejection is something so small compared to like what can really happen for you. Like, what if like you always listen to other people or paid attention to all the rejection, let that affect you? Then where would you be?
Yeah.
There's rejection in everything. Like, especially business, like there's rejection all the time. Not everybody wants to work with you, but it's just, you just gotta not give up and keep going.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it with anything. Like, the biggest things like you will ever, or like most exciting things you will do, most like biggest accomplishments are like literally on the other side of you just doing that thing that you're scared of doing, you know?
Yeah.
And after you do it, you're like, oh wait, that wasn't so bad. Let me just do another thing and another thing. So you just start building your confidence from there.
I always say that is when you do things that scare you, it feels so good and you build your confidence. Like when you throw yourself into uncomfortable situations and you overcome it and you're like, oh wow, that wasn't so bad, or oh my god, I really did that. Like you're proud of yourself, so you're just like, you just feel like the shit after.
I can do it.
Like no one can tell me nothing. Don't talk to me, please.
But yeah, go for it, dude.
Yeah,
go for it.
And if it's April, sorry, nope. I'm just kidding. Okay, let me do one more. So, what are your standards now when dating individuals given the bar parents have set. So I think what they're trying to say is like, you know, like how your parents kind of have this certain expectation of who your partner's gonna be, I guess, kind of like the standard that they've
like a standard that they have for the
for your significant other. Like, what are your standards now dating, knowing like what your parents expect?
Well, for me, I feel like they see me with the worst of the worst. So they're like, oh shit, like she's gone through some shit. Like, so even with that person that they knew like this was not the person for my daughter, they still made it known that if she's happy with this person, I'm gonna be happy for her. My parents have never been the type to like, yes, they have talked to me about maybe he's not the right one, but they've never forced me or like pushed me into the direction.
Or made you feel like uncomfortable about it, right? Yeah.
So they've always been like, whoever, like, I think they have put, as a couple, as parents, they have set standards of what I want into someone, and they know like my daughter would not be with like a bum or someone that's gonna treat her well, not anymore, because
the last one was okay.
Well, the first one, okay, so I upgraded little by little. So I think they're like, okay, she's smart enough not to be with like someone that's doing anything crazy or that's gonna bring her out of her character or anything like that. Like, I think they know for sure like what I want, so they're like, whatever makes her happy makes her happy.
Yeah.
So.
For me, I grew up with just my mom, so she kind of let me do my thing. I mean, I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend for a really long time, but I would anyways. I think we all did that. Yeah. I think I never really thought about like, oh, is my mom gonna like this person? I know the type, like what kind of family I have, so I know automatically I want a man who isn't like gonna be shy to be himself around my family. Someone who's obviously respectful, someone who's outgoing, someone who just like we're best friends. That's literally all I look for. I mean, I'm in a relationship now and we're like best friends, and I think as long as you're happy, even though your parents may not like your significant other maybe at the moment, I think it's just, you know, they want the best for you, and so whatever makes you happy. Obviously, if you're not being treated like shit, that, you know, that's important. They care about that. But in the beginning, my mom didn't like my boyfriend because he didn't treat me very good, and we were really young. I got with him when I was like 17 years old, so you know, we were always on and off. He was the type like who would just like break up with me and go parties, and like, you know, we were young, and now it's a totally different story, and I think both my parents see that, my mom and dad, and so they love him, and now he's part of the family. But yeah, I think as long as you're happy, your parents, you know, are gonna be okay with it.
I completely agree.
You have one more?
Yes. So I have someone that says, is it important to get advice about relationships from a guy's perspective?
Does he mean like a guy asking a guy, or us asking guys for a guy? Like,
is it important to, well, this is a guy asking, so is it important to get advice about relationships from a guy perspective? I don't really know how he's asking.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, is he asking for himself, or is he asking like for us? You know what I mean? For both, I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't know. However we want to take it.
Well, I mean, of course, the male's perspective is important, but I feel like that's where dads come into place. And for me, I didn't grow up really with my dad having that relationship, my biological dad, and now I have my stepdad, which I consider him like my dad, and now I'm able to have those conversations, and I feel like that's kind of where, for me, where the male perspective comes in with the relationships, like kind of the, like, you don't need to deal with that type of thing. Like, I maybe not per se like asking him for advice, like, hey, this is what I'm going through right now, but he'll ask me too, like, how's your relationship? Like, he'll ask me, like, what do you feel like you need to work on? And he gets me like thinking, like, damn, like, oh yeah, maybe I should work on this. And so I love that I have that type of relationship. So I do think it's important. I mean, I do, but not everybody has that.
but it's definitely important because like for us, like we have to a lot of times, like I feel especially nowadays, like with social media and like how everything is, like I feel like a lot of women like think that it's all about them and they don't really pay attention, like
women empowerment is so big right now, like, oh, like I don't need a man type of thing, right?
And they kind of take it a little bit too far. In my perspective, like of course, like I'm all about like women and like you doing your thing, be independent, but I feel like now it's like a trend to like, oh, if he does like how do I put it?
Like kind of like for anything, like no, like bye type of thing, right? Like any little thing, like, oh, I don't need a man, bye, you know.
Yeah, and you have to be realistic. You have to be realistic, and men have feelings too. Men go through. You think about it because men put up like this guard up. They have to be men, and they have to act like they're emotional, like they have no emotion,
together,
and have it all together. They don't stress about things. They don't get sad. Like that is something that's like they don't talk about, you know. So you have to put yourself in their shoes. Like, what if like our relationship isn't working out because he's really dealing with something that he doesn't know how to communicate with me, you know? So it's like we have to put ourselves like as women into a man's shoes and like be considerate about their feelings and everything, you know?
Yeah, so, for sure. And like I hear that a lot too. Like when people break up, a lot of men go through like a lot of things that maybe the women didn't know about because it's harder for them to express their feelings and to just be like, hey, you know what, I'm going through this right now and I need to work on myself. Like working on yourself with men is not as common as women. Like we're all about healing and all about like our self-care journey, all of that. Like we're always talking about that, but men don't. And it's important. Like men, we all have feelings. We're human. So yeah, I think it is important. I mean, from what I got from that question, it's important to get a male's perspective and to also put ourselves in a man's shoes and just know that, you know, they go through things too, because women are a little bit complicated. I know everyone's like, I saw that, like, why are you so complicated? Complicated, you know, we go through our mood swings, we do so much, so, and we're like kind of like an emotional roller coaster sometimes. I know, at least I am. Like sometimes I can be super happy and then one moment I'm like grumpy and I'm like, what? Like I'm answering with attitude. So just dealing with that alone, I know is kind of like hard. So yeah.
And honestly, like I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like the way that I think now about relationships or just men in general or women in general, this wasn't my mindset before. Even this last relationship that I was in, after it, obviously, like you learn through everything that happens in life. Every relationship, every like stage, everything is a learning lesson. So it was like a blessing in disguise because now I'm like, wow, my mindset changed completely because I would always be like mad for no reason or like grumpy for no reason, and I'm like, why would I be mad all the time? Like, why didn't I just enjoy the moment, you know? And I feel like now I just think completely different than, I mean, even just a few months ago. So everything's just like if you find yourself in not thinking how we're thinking right now, just like everything's like a learning process, and like through everything you learn something.
And I think it's hard when you're in a relationship to think that way too, because I separated from my boyfriend for a while, and that's when I kind of started getting that mentality like, well, what did I need to work on in the relationship? Like, what was going on? Like, I knew what he was doing wrong. Hell yeah. Like, I pointed fingers like, oh, you did this, this is why it didn't work. But I also had to look at myself and reflect like, well, what can I change? Like, what can I do better? And so it was just like realizing that and knowing like, well, I was in the wrong too. It wasn't just him. Like, just like they say, it takes two to tango. It's so true. Like, you are not perfect. And sometimes women, I think we think that we just know it all, like, all the time.
We like, as for me, like I would always like put myself on this pedestal, like, oh, I'm up here, and like everything that's going wrong is because of him. Yeah. Like basically, you know. But after, it's like you really reflect, and you have the time, and like I had like a lot of time to myself to actually think about, okay, maybe it was this, and maybe it was that, and maybe I could work on this. So then you like,
and then you're better for your next relationship.
Exactly. So
and you know like kind of what not to do, and it's everything's a learning lesson. So
yes.
From that, like, what is the biggest takeaway you've gotten from your last relationship? Like, what's something that you learned, or maybe something that you learned about yourself or men in general, or what you'll look for in your next relationship?
I think what I learned, like, biggest thing from my last one was you have to heal from past relationship traumas or family traumas, anything that you're dealing with.
Yes.
You have to completely heal, and it takes time, like, and you have to confront it, because I'm a person that I'm always just go. So whenever I have something that just like comes to me, I shut it down, and I'm like, okay, that never happened.
Yeah, like, I'm not feeling that right now. Like, nope, feeling, go away.
Yeah,
bye.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm over it. Like, everyone always says, like, April, why don't you let things get to you? I'm like, and then like I'm always just with a straight face, like, it doesn't bother me, but you have to,
deep
like,
down it does.
And it will come up.
Yeah, I was just about to say, trauma comes up whenever, and it's like crazy. You don't know it affects you for a while. Like, it could even be years that it doesn't come up, and then boom, it's there. It's like, oh, hey, I didn't know you're still there.
Exactly. And not until you actually reflect on it and like think about it, you'll see, oh, this is where it came up, or this is what's triggering it. Or
and it's sad that things. Like, when you break up with a person, that's when you realize it too.
Exactly.
But
yeah, because you're like in my situation, like, it could have been a great relationship, but because I didn't deal with these things, that maybe it was childhood stuff and past relationship things that I did not heal and deal with, and like even pay attention to, that it came up little things in this new relationship or past, and I'm like, okay, let's not dwell on what could have been. Let's just work on it, heal, and how can I be better on the next one? Because I mean, that's all you can do, is just like learn from it and move on, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think I have one more question.
I don't think people were saying dumb stuff on mine.
Oh, I know.
They were saying anything.
Can I take you on a date, right?
I'm like, no. If you're watching this, no. I'm like, fly me out.
Oh, someone did ask me in person though to touch on. So they this is what they said. What if you're so in love with somebody, but the sex is just not there? So that was their question, and just like, like, what do you do in that situation? Maybe it could be like you've been with that person for a really long time, that it's just like kind of the spark isn't there. You're just used to that person. I don't know, but what would you say?
I don't know. Like, well, I don't know if you want to go first or not, because I feel like I'm gonna be too blunt on this.
Go for it.
Because for me, everyone has like their things like that are more important than others. Like, I feel like,
but sex is important.
Yeah, but I feel like people, I don't know, I feel like other people will like brush it off, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, like, this is an issue, because it's like you want to feel wanted.
Exactly. So I think it's just communication, and then like trying new things.
Yeah, I would definitely say like trying to maybe just talk to your partner, like, hey, what's going on, like, or
why
something.
Don't you want me?
Yeah, or maybe it could be like, I don't know, you guys are having sex and it's just like it's boring. Not there. Yeah, boring. But that's because you got to change it up.
Yeah, you have to get with someone exciting.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I've been in a relationship for 8 years, so I know sometimes it could be like, there's been times where it's like could be a week and it doesn't happen, and that's just how it is when you're in a long relationship. Sometimes you guys are both busy, and it's just like you don't really make that a priority. But then also, like, the week went by and we're like, hello, like, what's going on, but we're both that way, and I think it's just because we both, like, you can't lose sight in your partner also. You can't just, like, it can't be a routine. Like, a relationship should not be a routine. It's constant work, and it's, you always have to put effort in it every single day, whether you like it or not. Like, that's just what it is. And if you want to have a successful relationship, you got to constantly be, like, communicating with that person how you're feeling. It's not just how you're feeling. It's how the other person's feeling also. And it's just, like, literally communicating with that person, like, hey, you know, I feel like our sex hasn't been that great, you know, what, like, let's do something about it, let's try new things, whatever, you know.
Like, I like to, like, always just, like, do, like, exciting things. Well, not just, like, sex, but, like, just go on, like, spontaneous dates,
right?
Do like adventurous stuff. Like, I'm one to, like, if you want to go, I'm down, whatever, you know. So, like, just do exciting things to keep, like, it exciting, you know.
Because, like, if you're just staying home all the time, like, just the other day, my boyfriend and I were just, like, chilling. We were gonna work out, and I was like, no, like, let's drink, like, let's have fun, you know. And so we started drinking, and we're just at home, and it was fun, like, just spontaneously doing random things, like, let's do this, let's go out to dinner. It's just, like, get ready for your man, you know. If you're someone, like, we've been in quarantine for, like, over a year, you know. I'm sure a lot of girls weren't doing their makeup all the time and stuff, and so now is time to get ready for your man, put on a cute outfit, and just go have fun with your significant other. So
I agree,
that would be that. One more thing that I wanted to talk about is, like, doing your own thing. I feel like we've all been in a relationship where we've gotten caught up in that relationship and kind of lost ourselves. I don't know if you've been in a relationship like that. I know I have. Kind of losing sight of who you are and having your own life. What advice would you give to someone who's in that situation right now? Maybe, like, they're with their boyfriend or girlfriend, and all they do is, like, they're with each other 24/7, and that's all they do is, like, just spend time with their significant other. Like, what would you tell that person that's, like, doesn't do things for themselves and kind of just, like, you know, in this cycle?
I was in something like that years ago. But you can feel it, like, you feel it in yourself, like, oh, I'm not who I was before this relationship. And I always like to remind people, like, you were you before this relationship, before you even met this person. So, like, you're still you. Like, you have to be your own person. You have to have your hobbies, your likes, your dislikes, everything that you have to have. How would I say it? I feel like
you just, like, your own life. Like, you just
have to have your own life.
Do things that you enjoy without not caring, but, like, just, like, I don't know, do what makes you happy, not constantly be thinking. Because honestly, this is something that I recently went through. This reason why my boyfriend and I recently broke up was because we were in that, like, it's toxic. To me, that's toxic. Like, where you're just, like, just all about that person 24/7. You cancel plans because you just want to be with that person. Like, that's great and all, but, like, you have other relationships besides this person. Like, your family, I lost sight of my family relationships, my friendships. Like, I would cancel plans because, like, oh my god, no, like, I need to be with him, you know. It's kind of just like, I have to be with him. It was weird. I just wasn't myself. And when I got out of that, and when we broke up and I kind of spent time by myself, I'm like, oh my god, and I used to hate being by myself. I kind of realized, like, this makes me happy. And I kind of had a distorted mentality of, like, happiness. It was just like, oh, well, like, I thought a man could make me happy, you know? But I had to make myself happy in order to find happiness in that relationship. So I definitely think it's important to, like, go out with your friends, and if your man is not okay with it, then bye, or freaking I don't know what, because you should never let anybody tell you what you can and cannot do, especially if it's not hurting the relationship.
Because so this goes back to what I had said, like, you need to know you before getting into a relationship, because once you have that confidence, like, I know who I am, this is what the things I like to do, no one's gonna break this, no matter how much I love you. Obviously, like, you, like, if it's something that he doesn't like, or you guys communicate,
you should take their feelings into consideration.
But never, like, oh, he doesn't want me going out with my friends anymore, so I'm gonna stop automatically, I'm just gonna stay home. Like, no. Like, anyone that comes into my life, like, in the future or whenever, they need to know she loves to go out. She loves to do her thing with her friends. She loves to drink. No one's gonna stop me from drinking. No one's gonna stop me from nothing that I like to do. And it's just, like, you need to know your partner as well. If he likes to have his boys' nights, or if he doesn't want to go to gym by himself, like, you know, like, he has his own life, you have your own life. You guys need to like, let it be. Have that confidence that let him go out with his boys. like I saw something that said, you're like, you would be dumb to think my boyfriend isn't gonna see a girl that's like attractive, or I'm not gonna see a man that's not attractive. Like obviously, there's always gonna be someone.
There's always
more
gonna be
attractive,
more prettier than you or whatever. But dude, if you love somebody, like that should never go away for a pretty face.
Exactly.
Like, and it's knowing who you're with. Also, if you have any doubt, because I was that girl. I was insecure, and I would think that my man's gonna talk to pretty girls, and I was so insecure about myself.
Yeah.
And your partner sees that also. So when he sees that, it's like it's not attractive, and it makes them want to do dumb shit.
Exactly.
Like that's the truth. If you're that girl who's like needy and just wanting to like suffocate your boyfriend, like they're gonna want to go and do those things because you're being that way. So it's important to just have confidence in yourself. There's so many pretty girls. I get it. Believe me, being a girl is really hard, especially nowadays, right? With like everybody getting surgery, all these things. Like there's so many beautiful women, but girl, you're beautiful the way you are, and your man liked you for a reason. You know, he liked you. That's another thing too, is like when people lose sight in who they are, like your significant other liked you doing like for you doing your own thing because you were living your own life. They liked what you were doing and who you were, who you are as a person. So it's important to just keep doing that. Like don't lose sight in that, and it's healthy. It's super healthy. Yeah, to just, you know, if you want to go on a trip with your girls, like do that. I recently went on a trip by myself, and I was like, oh, this is the most amazing thing ever. I was like, I need to do a girls trip every year. It's just a different type of fun.
It is, yeah.
It's just like I don't know how to explain it. Even going out with your girls, you get a little more wild. Like I don't know.
Like
it's
you
not even anything bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's just.
But the hype, the different hype, like the way that your friends hype you up is different. Like, and you're just there, like dancing without a care in the world. Like, you know, you have your man at home. You're not worrying about like finding a man to dance with or anything like that. So I think it's important. Just, dude, live your life for yourself. Like I always say this, like always choose you in everything that you do. Of course, it's important to be considerate of other people's feelings, and obviously, if it's something that you wouldn't be okay with, then don't do it. But you know, just always do whatever makes you happy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would say cheers to that.
Yes, cheers.
And I think we answered, a few questions, and we kind of, I think this video is pretty long, but... I can't see. Yeah, I can't see. How long has it been?
I'm blind.
42 minutes.
42 minutes? Oh, not too bad, but that's a good... Yeah, that's good. So, yeah, I definitely want to do more videos like this. Maybe we'll do one for your channel.
When I get it back?
Yeah, she has a YouTube channel, but she's working on it. It's under construction. So, but definitely follow her. I'll put her Instagram handle below. You just have Instagram, right? Or Facebook and all that?
I don't really use
Instagram.
Yeah, so just Instagram.
The gram. So I'll put her info below. Definitely follow her. She's an inspiration, I think, to like a lot of young women, just because she's young. She hustles. She does things that makes her happy, and just seeing like her, how carefree she is. She just like, sometimes you post things and I'm like, oh my god, I probably wouldn't post something like that. But it's just it's just like how you're so like you know, you just don't give a shit about what anybody has to think, whatever you post, like whatever anybody has to say. And I love that. So definitely go follow her. And thank you so much for being here. I loved having this conversation. It's kind of like a girl talk that we hadn't had.
It was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I liked
it. So cheers.
Cheers.
And we'll definitely be seeing you guys more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.